Hey guys, what's up? My name is Emily Hood and welcome back to FHNtoday TV here on the Hood Report. On this week's episode, we will be discussing the confusion with the Iowa caucuses, your 2020 Super Bowl champions, and a look at my favorite Super Bowl commercials. Missouri has always been home to the greatest sports teams on earth, and now I am proud to say that Missouri is the official holder of the Stanley Cup and the Lombardi Trophy because the Kansas City Chiefs are your 2020 Super Bowl champions. Let me just say, it was so refreshing to root for a team that I actually enjoyed instead of just rooting against the Patriots this year. What a concept. The Chiefs came back from being down yet again in this game after overcoming deficits in their past two playoff games against the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. In the Super Bowl, they were down against the San Francisco 49ers by 10 points, but Patrick Mahomes led 2 touchdowns on 2 consecutive scoring drives, and they came out with the victory 31-20. This was the first championship win for the Chiefs in 50 years, and that sounds a lot like another Missouri team I know. The championship parade was held today in Kansas City at 11:30 a.m. I will admit I follow my St. Louis teams a little bit closer than I follow the Chiefs, but hey, they rooted for the Blues when we went on our Stanley Cup run, so I have to give props to them too. Congrats, guys. My favorite part of the Super Bowl every year has got to be the commercials, and once again, I'm going to be giving you my best and worst picks for the night. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I felt like this year's commercials were lacking just a little bit compared to last year's. My favorite commercial of the night has got to go to Cheetos. They played off MC Hammer's song Can't Touch This, and let me tell you, it brought me back to my childhood. I used to love eating Cheeto Puffs, and I definitely got a little messy when I ate them.
You can't touch this.
Help!
You can't touch this.
Amazon's commercial before Alexa was also a favorite of mine. It showcases past versions of Alexa completing various tasks that the current smart speaker can do with ease.
Ready? Huh. Here we go. What do you think people did before Alexa?
Alexa, turn the temperature down 2 degrees. Thank you, dear.
My all-time favorite part of that commercial is when she throws the piece of flaming wood outside the window. That was brilliant. My last favorite commercial was Hyundai's Smart Park commercial for their new 2021 Sonata. As a proud Hyundai owner myself, I love seeing some of my favorite actors like John Krasinski and Chris Evans with Boston accents in the commercial. I thought it was really funny.
Look who's got Smart Pack.
Smart Pack?
Just hit the clicker, car packs itself.
It's smart.
It's wicked smart. And I can pack it anywhere.
How about Dorchester?
Packed it.
Foxborough.
Packed it.
The Garden?
Packed it.
Saugus.
Packed it.
Swampscott?
Revere.
The Harbor?
Are you kidding me? I packed it and then unpacked it.
You unpacked it?
Overall, I'd say my least favorite commercial was Rocket Mortgage with Jason Momoa. The commercial shows Jason getting comfortable by ripping off his arms and his hair. I mean, I get the joke, but like, I don't know, kind of weird. Watch it for yourself.
That's why I can just kick back and be totally comfortable in my own skin. You know what I'm saying? Rocket Mortgage understands that home is where I can be myself.
What were your favorite Super Bowl commercials this year? I want to hear them. Make sure to let us know at FHNtoday on Twitter and Instagram. Now, believe it or not, don't worry, I know we're all really proud of our Chiefs, but there were some other news stories outside of the Super Bowl this week. The Iowa caucuses were on Monday night that kicked off the 2020 presidential election cycle. Now, a caucus runs pretty differently than a primary, so I'm going to break it down for you guys exactly what happens at these caucuses. During the caucus, participants go to their caucus location and stand in a specific area depending on which candidate they are supporting. In order for a candidate to be considered viable, they must have 15% of the caucus attendees standing in that candidate's area so they can advance to the second round. After the first round, if your candidate is not viable, you are free to switch to another candidate before the final count. As you can see, this is much different than a primary where voters cast a ballot like they would in a usual election, and it's caused some controversy largely over the past few years. Iowa is always the first caucus of the election cycle, and candidates who do well in Iowa typically do pretty well in the primaries. This year, different precincts were to report their results of the caucus using an app. However, the app was not working and caused huge problems when reporting the votes. At the time this is being filmed, only 62% of the votes have actually been turned in, with Pete Buttigieg and Bernie Sanders leading the way, winning 26 and 25% of the popular vote. Many candidates have moved on to campaigning in New Hampshire, who holds their primary next week, without knowing the true winner of Iowa. While I don't have the final results at the time that I am filming this episode, here is an update as of Wednesday afternoon. And that is all the stories that we have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of The Hood Report. Make sure to check out Food Frenzy tomorrow, and I hope you all have a great week.